Blackstone Audio presents Bill Warrington's Last Chance, a novel by James King. Chapter 1. Bill Warrington listened to the final huffs and pings of the engine and the crackle of the vinyl settling about him as he removed the key from the ignition and let his arms drop into his lap. He sat quietly for a few moments, staring at, but not really seeing, the rack of garden tools hanging on the wall in front of him. Discipline was needed, a little self-control. He leaned his head back and closed his eyes. It had been a good decision, he thought now, to attach the garage. He had considered building a separate one, similar to the one he had played in as a boy, sneaking into his father's DeSoto coupe and grabbing onto the thick steering wheel and pretending to drive out of the musty garage and onto the broad streets, waving at the awestruck neighbors as he made his way out of Woodlake, maybe even out of Ohio altogether. He had envisioned a son, maybe a couple of them, who would spend hours, as he had, dreaming up the kind of car they would drive someday, the places they would visit. But the drywall installer had told Bill he'd be making a mistake. His future wife would complain about having to haul in groceries from an unattached garage, especially in foul weather. "That's all they do after you marry them," he'd said. "Complain." The guy had been wrong about Claire. And he, Bill, had been wrong about the boys. Mike never took much of an interest in cars when he was young, and Nick was convinced that the garage housed not only cars, but also boy-eating monsters. Bill opened his eyes. He was wasting time sitting there like that. He got out of the car and went into the kitchen, directly to the counter drawer where he kept the address book, the same pocket-sized vinyl-covered directory with his name embossed along the bottom in gold letters that he'd gotten some 30 or 40 years ago as a holiday gift from a supplier. He fished around, wondering if he'd left it someplace else. Bill studied the open drawer. Nothing to worry about, he told himself. This sort of thing happens all the time, no matter how old you are and no matter what any smart-ass doctor says. He yanked the drawer out, emptied it onto the counter, and sifted through the items. A slim Woodlake telephone directory, several years old, a black umbrella cover, a sports watch with a broken band, the smiley Isoflex ball Claire had used to take her mind off the pain, the Phillips screwdriver he'd spent an hour looking for in the garage last week, a pad of yellow notes stuck to the inside of a Tupperware lid, a Greetings from Grand Canyon keychain, but no address book.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?